The Spin-off Podcast Network.
This is Kiwi is back for a brand new season with more inspiring kōrero from special guests including rugby player, father and role model TJ Perenara.
My family bring me joy. Rugby brings me joy too, but it's not the same joy as my family brings me.
And global dancer and choreographer Kirsten Dodgen.
For some reason, people think I'm very intimidating.
Listen to the new season of This is Kiwi, brought to you by the Spin-off Podcast Network in collaboration with KiwiBank. Available now wherever you get your podcasts.
Are you curious about how business can be better? I'm Simon Pound, and I host Business is Boring, a podcast where I kōrero with some of the most interesting people in entrepreneurship, commerce, and making things happen. Tune in to Business is Boring every Tuesday, brought to you by the Spin-off Podcast Network in partnership with Spark Business Lab.
Start your day with The Bulletin, a newsletter from The Spin-off summarising New Zealand's biggest breaking stories and highlighting the best reporting from around the country. Sign up for free today at thespinoff.co.nz/newsletters.
Kia ora, welcome along to The Real Recap. This is a recap series looking back at the week on Married at First Sight. What are you doing?
I don't know. You just sounded like you were falling apart.
I was falling apart, and I thought that I'd scraped back in, but clearly I did not. So Anyway, this is a recap of the week on Married at First Sight Australia, week 4. My name is Jane Yu, joined by Duncan Grieve and Alex Casey, armchair experts, if you will. Hang on, Alex, your tag under your armpit, your tag.
What do you mean?
Oh, it was in the show. I'm making a joke. I'm referencing.
Oh,
Matt.
yes.
I thought you...
Wow, deep
I
cut.
did have my arms up because I was preparing to do a massive manu in the style of Matt, my new favourite
Was it a massive
character.
money or... Did
It
he
wasn't.
He's just very... he is an... I can't wait to talk about Matt.
He's
Can't
so
wait to talk about it.
great.
I gotta wait.
He's the new Rusty 2022.
Yes.
God, he's special.
If you like this podcast, even if you don't like this podcast, please rate it, review it, share with your pals, and you can join the discussion, facebook.com/realpodcorner. We're also on Instagram at the Spin-off Podcast Network. I'm having a
Real
time. The
plaid.
world is falling apart.
Real dad.
We said farewell to Holly and Andrew this week. Andrew decided not to be part of the experiment anymore. She read out a very emotional letter. I mean, sad for her, but she's quite annoying to me.
It's just too much, isn't it? The
It's
long
really
script,
a lot.
the delivery, the if I may, which is very Jacinda Ardern.
Yeah.
Maybe she could play Jacinda Ardern in the movie.
She could for the what's that funny? Is it Lifetime that does those chunky?
Yeah. Shit, that's actually something that could happen.
It could happen.
Just one other note
Copyright.
from the
Who would play, if you had to cast it from MAFS, who's playing Clark?
Oh, God.
Ooh. Al?
I mean, I think that would be great. That would be so good.
Al would be amazing.
It would be like The Room.
I love Al.
Okay, just one thing from the commitment ceremony before we dive into our new couples. Liv and Jackson, they leapt to Andrew's defence.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I'm not sure what to make of them. They're a lovely couple, but that was very misguided.
Liv's a bit judgy. Like she did that kind of an apology with a but as an excuse or whatever.
That's true though.
But she's basically right. And
But she is sticking her little nose in, isn't she? A little
well,
bit.
her and Jackson are basically like, we can only go off the evidence presented before us, Your Honour. And it is true that Holly has just been like, he stole my voice. And look, like, to be fair, like she went through some shit and that's all a real thing. But look, it's a tense one. But you'd think that based on the fact they're just like wildly in love with each other, they would be less interested in inserting themselves into the most toxic relationships on the show.
Yeah, like Brett and Angel, right? They just stayed right out of everything in their own lovely little bubble. But, man, Liv and Jackson, lovely. Boring. Just boring.
Yeah, but there has to be one, right?
Yeah. We'll talk about the new couples.
Yeah, just before we do, I mean, just a question for my co-hosts.
Yes.
I felt after the commitment ceremony that this was the best overall average relationship state of any group of couples at this point in the experiment.
Agree.
I mean, it didn't hold together, but
No, it didn't hold. But at that point,
yeah.
But it felt like the most sort of earnestly cast as well. Like that they genuinely thought that most of the shot, and also, and this is probably related, that the experts had genuinely tried and often succeeded in salvaging some absolute dumpster fire relationships. So I was like, this, and the show got a little bit boring, but not too boring out the back of it. This was obviously a killer week, but last week I was just like, you know, they've somehow, because this show like 2 years ago felt like, you know, when people were advertising for cancelling contracts and the whole thing just felt really like amoral in a quite a scary way. I was like, they've actually done quite a, like, just a subtle brand franchise rescue thing here. Anyway, that's just my...
Let's remember this conversation in 2 weeks' time, you know, or 3 weeks' time.
Yeah, it was just a moment in time. It's past.
Yeah.
I'd love to see data viz on this, like week to week from over the years. How many couples have stayed and left? Who was in trouble and who'd had sex and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I would love to see that.
Yeah,
we can do it.
Public interest journalism fun, if you're listening.
Okay, so who should we start with? Should we start with Kate and Matt?
Yeah.
So this is our older couple. These are the oldies of the season.
Mature. 38 and 39.
Is 38, he's 39, or the other way around, can't remember. He's had a 7-year marriage. She has never been in love or in a relationship and never had anyone say I love you to her, which is really very sad. Seems like a great way to find your twin flame. Go married at first sight.
Lives with her twin and seemingly has never been apart from her identical twin.
It's a bit weird, isn't it?
It's full on.
I like when they were watching, they were like, what are you watching? Reality TV. Do you notice that weird? There's just something a little uncanny about them. I don't know. It's strange.
Also, she in the moments with her voiceover, she was like, imagine being the girl a guy chooses. And I'm like, that is not what's happening here. He is not choosing you. He has been paired with you. He does not have a choice. That's the whole point. Anyway,
and yet he was very happy with his no choice. So
do you know what? I thought before the wedding, I was like, Matt seems lovely. What a lovely guy. And he still is. He still is lovely.
Well,
I want to use the word normal. He seemed normal.
Yeah, he surely doesn't seem normal anymore.
It seemed like a typical guy. Been through a lot of IVF, had foster children with his ex-wife, and obviously got a really, really big heart. And
the biggest heart in the world. He's so David Brent the way he talks about himself.
Brent.
It's so even his like weird furtive grins and incredible self-confidence.
The amount of time he spent on the couch watching The Notebook and crying and just wanting that love, and so many references to The Notebook.
Yeah,
He loves The Notebook.
Is notebook worthy. Pointing at us.
I've seen a Wonder movie. Just called The Notebook.
It did have like strong Notebook vibes. Like it was the perfect honeymoon location for Matt. Also had a pool.
Tiny wee pool.
And he loved his little white shorts that were completely see-through.
Oh my God, I didn't look.
Full butt crack.
Really?
Yeah.
Any pimps?
Couldn't catch any pimps.
That's a reference to our regular pod, by the way, our regular real pod. I've just realised I'm calling back to an entirely different podcast.
Titillating tease.
Something so kind of childlike about the way he just loved doing bombs.
He loved doing bombs. He loved soaking his wife. He's just chilling by the pool.
And the way he said, he likes, working out, and then and he just like,
does a good 1,500 metres. 1,500 metres a day swimming.
So he I think what he did in the pool was more almost like the salmon, it was the pool equivalent of the dude who's just like riding around the waterfront without his hands on the handlebars. Yes. Those guys that for no reason at all are just like flexing. And I reckon he's just flexing his kind of like sideways salmon jump into the pool. She was impressed, wasn't she?
Oh yeah, she's bloody stoked.
Oh my God, the great thing is they're so well cast because she is so profoundly sour on him, and just makes zero effort to disguise it. But he's got such superpower confidence that he seems genuinely unaware that this person like loathes him. That like it's just got the worst case of ick you've ever seen.
But do you know what? Part of me wonders if that's just her, and if that's just like she doesn't, she doesn't wear a lot of joy on her face even when she is feeling joyful. And maybe that's why she's had trouble with relationships in the past, is that people always assume that she's hating it.
She's definitely hating it.
Definitely hating it. She's managing to laugh without smiling. It's the whole thing.
It's really brutal.
She's miserable.
What's so great, though, was her whole thing was, I just want someone to love me. I just want someone to tell me that I'm beautiful. I just want someone who cares about me.
Not like that.
Yeah. What about the chicken twisties?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
There were so many moments. Wait, so this is when they're
During the photo shoot, they were getting up close and he said, sorry about the breath. I just had some chicken twisties.
Yeah. First of all, I would like to try chicken twisties.
Yeah, it seems like weird that they're not available here.
It's good promo.
Secondly, is that pre-wedding or in the bit between the wedding and the photos? Did he have chicken twisties? I don't know. Like, was that unit on set, or was it his own snack that he had in the limo on the way?
I think he's always got
He's
a
always-
bag of chicken twisties
he's always
in his
holding.
pocket.
The kissing during the photo session was so awkward.
Oh, that's
He's very touchy-feely. He is smitten, in his own words. He is absolutely smitten with Kate. She was so busy being worried that whoever her groom was, wouldn't be attracted to her, didn't consider that she might be attracted to him, and then realised immediately that was also something that could happen, and in fact did happen.
Just on a kind of putting aside his really interesting personality, he's not. I mean, he's not that bad looking, right?
No, that's what I was kind of getting at the beginning. He was just seemed like a nice, good-looking, well-rounded fella, and it turned out to be an absolute cuddle monster. You've got beautiful eyes. You've got beautiful lips. This is during the photos.
I know. He just went round her entire anatomy, describing
Sit
it
on
all
my
as
lap
beautiful.
like Santa.
Yuck!
She asks him to dial it down a notch, and he agrees, but he doesn't really do that. Like, if you notice when they walked into the beautiful honeymoon suite, she's just like opening the fridge, and he comes up behind and like looks in there with it and puts his arm around, and she's just
The
like,
Holly
"Oh."
trick. Whoopsie.
Yeah, there's a lot of whoopsies.
Wakes up in the morning, has a good steering session at her while she sleeps.
Oh my
Love
God,
it.
that's insane. And you can tell it's like she's probably been awake for like 2 hours, just kind of wondering how long she can just avoid
Gonna
any
move.
interaction.
Yeah. I'll just pretend to be dead.
Maybe I can will myself to be dead.
The edit on this is magic and simply can't be recreated. Just Matt being really excited about a warm fire, like, oh, we can have a fire, it's warm, and a cup of tea. And then they sit down together, and she's just like, oh, that clock. And
That's big clock.
big clock was just magic. It's just magic.
The edits, there's every episode there's some little kind of package that is just champagne television.
Love it.
So,
I want them to stay. It's like Rusty. Like, I want them to stay forever because I want to watch Matt
yes.
forever. But I worry about the longevity of this relationship.
Yeah.
I mean,
But he's never going to write leave.
no,
True.
no,
That's true.
he's never going to write leave. And she may stick around. I don't know. It's hard to get a read on it. Let's go to Carolina and Dion, both very ambitious. She has a 16-year-old son. I need to know when she moved to Australia.
It was, he said 8 years ago, she said.
Her English is so good. That's what I'm saying. I smell a rat. Carolina has an interesting job. She hires out designer handbags.
Great idea.
Yes.
I always think of, like, I wanted this idea. I've been thinking for ages of, like, the tool library for X.
But isn't that already a thing?
Well, there's designer wardrobe in New Zealand. But they
Presumably
just
you can get
do-
handbags there too.
I don't know if you can.
What else can you hire out?
finding out?
What else can we hire out?
Doggy?
Yeah.
Dog, yeah, you can absolutely pay to take my dog for a walk. That makes sense.
Dog.
What else have we got? Come up with a new business idea.
Appliances.
Oh,
I don't know.
Gosh. Not very glamorous.
No,
anyway,
it's not.
Dion's rich. He works in property.
Business is boring.
It was boring after all.
By the real part.
He's got a big Italian family. He wants kids. She is a living nightmare on the wedding day. She's a meltdown over her makeup.
So amazing. Like,
It's such a great
Incredible.
moment.
never
Like,
seen such a stressed producer.
I know. And the camera operator going, she's doing it. And she's
doing
going,
it.
oh, fuck. And you just see her wiping her
Oh
foundation
my God.
off.
That is like a viscerally satisfying scene. Like the idea of just like knowing that it's wrong and her just doing it. I was like, oh, I love this woman.
Yeah. Great character, the two of them. Like, Dion has everything stacked against him in terms of like who he is, the way he presents. And yeah, I still like him.
Dion is maybe the best guy.
Yeah.
I like Dion.
The Chateau Marmont jacket.
I know, but his easy confidence versus the like completely insane Matt confidence is like so attractive.
Yeah.
Like, and he's like, yeah, I'm short. I wear heels. I dress, and there's just nothing that you can say that will ever touch him. But he's not an asshole about it, not arrogant. Beautiful. Wanna hang
Styled
out.
on Psy as well. Psy as in Gangnam Style.
Oh yeah.
Very strong. So like the slick back hair, the outfits.
I do
Very of
think
the
he looks
moment.
like, Matt is David Brent persona. Dion is how David Brent would dress if he had money.
Yes, exactly right.
Especially the heels.
The heel shoes.
It's like when
yeah.
you wear
Cuban heels for sure.
Sergio Giorgini.
Yeah, in the Dove video, like the free love highway. I would, if of anyone on this season, I would love to hang out with Dion. I feel like Dion's got like obviously you get to go
You're
up a
so
skyscraper and
transparent.
stuff.
You're so transparent.
Well,
we go
yeah.
out on the luxury yacht.
Yeah. But also he's just a vibey guy.
I've got an idea. Dion goes on below deck as a charter guest.
Oh,
my God.
Love that.
Crossover
Yeah.
event. Yes.
Yeah. So the
Copyright the real part.
Yeah.
no, we don't own any of these things. We can't. We
You
can't
say
make
it,
that
it's
happen. She said that he's a bit short. She said to him, "Oh, you're a bit short," sort of thing. He was like, "When I stand on my wallet, I'm 10 feet tall." So good, so good.
Like from
Crazy
anyone else,
thing
that
to
would have been
say.
a really like offensively rude thing to get from him. You're like, shot Dion.
Yeah.
It's the timing of it,
Yeah.
What did she say when she thought the camera wasn't rolling? Like such a rookie error.
Oh, it was awful.
It was
So they were
real
doing the
awful.
honeymoon box. I thought it was called the honesty box, but now it's the honeymoon box. Anyway, are you attracted to me and are you your usual type was the question. And she said, I don't think I'm attracted to you yet. Which
No, but she said that like on camera. But when she
on
thought
camera,
it was
which actually was kind of fine, right? I was
Yeah.
like, she's not lying and she's left it open and she handled it, relatively gently. Then in the moment, she's like, do I think he's good looking enough for me? And then ask the crew, well, do you? As in like, of course he's not, like
So
obviously.
intense.
And she says he's probably not been rejected before because he's rich. Then she thinks the camera's off. And she's like, oh, the producer's going to get cross with me for saying this while the cameras aren't rolling because obviously they'd want to capture it. And then tells him, girls probably pretend to be attracted to you. Do you think that you're so hot that people can't be attracted to you? That's so mean.
God,
mean.
it's so mean.
But this is where he becomes so incredibly attractive because he just like handles himself through that with just such like aplomb. Amazing.
He's pretty incredible. He's just got a nice face as well.
Lovely
Well,
face.
lovely
Smiley
face. Lovely face.
Just
She is. And I don't think she's wearing like little 90s plaits. Did you notice that? I was really intrigued by her hair at the cafe honesty box date. She had like just two little plaits coming down from her middle part.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Quite felt like 90s teen movie type.
I do see that. Yeah, seeing that around, aren't you?
I thought she should have when she explained what her business was and he like had like intimate knowledge of Chanel's
Yes.
bag range. I was like, that's hot as fuck. Like, how are you not into this guy? That's so fucking cool.
Well, she's been burned before. Can we talk about the mature ladies brothel?
Do you know what I said
even know
when
that
I
was a
heard
thing.
mature
I know.
ladies bottle? I didn't know it was a thing either, and I thought, there's hope for me yet.
So her ex-partner, she discovered, had been cheating. She found a phone. She found a whole
She
She
went through his
hacked
phone.
him. She was like, yeah,
Oh, she
I
hacked him, that's
him.
right. And found that he had been visiting a brothel throughout their relationship.
Rooting
Not just
and
any
tooting.
brothel, a mature ladies' brothel. I don't know why she had
He was
to
a regular.
Is that a thing like everywhere, or is that just in the big city like Sydney?
I don't know. Send us an email.
Lucy Kelly? No?
Podcast
we need
spin-off.
some sort of we need like a cultural advisor
We do.
or a
or a Google engine, search
we
engine,
need
maybe.
something. It was just such a buzzy one. Fuck, they're
Amazing.
just great characters.
Also, she has a 16-year-old son. She obviously had him when she was quite young. He was a bit thrown by that. His friends got a bit involved, I thought unnecessarily, because surely it's up to her to tell him, and when she's ready. But I love the way that his friend tried to get his other mate. So his woman friend tried to get his male friend.
Oh yeah, to snatch.
to tell him, and he just was like, Rob's going to tell you, and she walks off, and then he's like, oh, nah, nothing.
That was
He
real
just-
mean.
It was
That
real
It was real
amazing.
good. But didn't you feel like it was producers in that moment? Like making them like going,
Yeah.
you should tell him this
Yeah,
is the right thing
big
to do,
time.
and them freaking out because they didn't really want to do it.
It was
Are
a
there
terrible idea.
producers?
Yeah.
Are there producers involved?
I don't want to shock you, Jane.
Oh my god.
But it felt quite uncomfortable to me, that whole thing. It didn't feel...
Yeah, it felt engineered.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like it's a very personal thing. Obviously, she has to. She's not going to sort of have him hurry from room to room to avoid him, for the rest of their life. But it should be something on her own terms.
When she did tell him, he was a little bit sort of taken aback. He was visibly shocked. But I'm like, the kid's 16.
Bro,
He is out of house in the home in 2 years. If she said she had a toddler,
that's
that
hell.
would be, that's
a
hell.
life sentence.
I would be like, sorry, it's over.
Yeah.
Thanks very much. I definitely ticked no small children on the box, But 16's fine.
Yeah.
You can send him, oh, we're out of coffee, Could you mind going and grabbing the coffee? Like, useful, potentially.
Potentially useful.
Potentially useful 16-year-old. So I just don't see that as any sort of a barrier. That's all I'm saying. Jessica and Daniel are our third couple.
God.
Do you know who she reminds me of? She reminds me of Stacey from the Block Firehouse, your doppelganger's new wife, Alex.
Yes,
Stacey Heyman?
that's right. Yeah,
I think she just looks a little like her.
She's got
That's all.
Instagram face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So both their backstories are really, really tragic. They've both lost a sibling. And Daniel comes from an abusive background. His dad was an alcoholic. His mum was completely absent. His brother took his life. And now he has a very close relationship with his sister and his niece, Astaria. Bloody adorable.
She's fucking adorable. Hey, do you guys know what happened with her? So
With who?
Jess.
With Jess. So this is Jess's second marriage on this season.
What?
What?
So Nikki looked this
there
up.
was someone who was edited out.
Yeah, he was edited. So she's there at the hens.
Oh my God.
And then, so basically, and again, I'm paraphrasing here. I didn't look this up, but Nikki's told me the story twice, so I'm probably going to get it like 38% right. So basically, she was on her wedding night, or maybe the first night of honeymoon. She basically got a real bad vibe about this guy, sent his name to her whānau, and they looked him up and basically instantly found messages where he was saying real bad homophobic stuff, saying horrible stuff about really bad stuff about his ex, and just immediately sent that to her. She went straight to producers, and they just killed the whole storyline. Wow. And so this is like a second marriage for her, which somehow makes this even more insane, because it's like that to me indicates someone is there for love, and then she's behaving like she's the only one from this season who kind of vibes like the sort of chaos seasons of recent times, where she's just there to cause trouble and get Instagram famous. It's real buzzy.
It also explains why Dan is so under the pump and feels like he, was just thrust onto the show at the last minute.
Yeah.
Because he is just not prepared to be there. I genuinely feel like he should not be on the show. It makes me feel uncomfortable. I don't feel like he is in a safe place.
Yeah,
It looks like he's about to get into a safe place with Carolina, though.
True.
Oh my
that could be the saving
God.
grace.
Yeah. But there's definitely a sense that he hasn't had the same prep. Like it's like they would know they should go to like MAFS boot camp where they get taken through all the stuff that's likely to happen. He just doesn't seem to be aware of any of it.
Yeah.
And he's just constantly off and freaking out and talking to the producers and so on.
I really like him, but I feel like, I don't know, I can't trust anyone on this show. I just never know when someone's going to disappoint me. I really liked both of them at first, but then, of course, she pulled out her, my real wedding. I'm going to wear trackies. And
But that was fine. I thought that was just like
I don't know. As soon as she said it, I was like, this, but he was so like, this is such a big deal. This is my wife. You know, the way he was talking to his niece and ringing and going, this is what my wife is like. But there was really like, this is it till the end of our days.
But there was such plausible deniability on that, meaning we just got married, just the two of us, as being like a kind of when we do this again.
Yeah, it's fair explanation, and I think he understood and then he felt like a dick about it. What I liked was when he decided to crack the shits, as she called it, and throw a tantrum. He's just did the age-old, I'm going toilet.
Yeah, love that.
Not to the, just I'm going toilet.
Efficient.
He is cracking the shits in a different way.
So
I don't even think he went toilet, by the way. I think he just went producer.
Yeah.
Hey, obviously we've had season upon season of like really bad manipulative bullying guy, and even on this season we've seen Andrew be that. But her and Celine, that kind of really brutal sort of belittling kind kind of princess, what would she say?
Little bitch.
Little bitch. Like, it's just, ugh.
It's also internalized misogyny, which is interesting, and probably a PhD.
Yeah.
For not me.
Maybe that one from Bachelor.
Maybe that one from Bachelor.
I do have a very important question, though. If I ask you to turn up the aircon, do you think I want you to make it warmer or colder?
Colder.
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 So,
She had a point.
He is a little... Kidding! And
I actually researched this. I went on the internet to see, and the question has been asked many, many a time, and I think it could be either meaning, right? But an air conditioner is there to make cold air, right? That's basically, at the end of the day, that's what the air conditioner is there to do. If you lower the thermostat, you're turning up the cold air.
What is that?
A lot of people are like...
Science Corner is rapidly becoming
I'm really
my
sorry.
favourite part of RealPod. Just absolute nonsense.
I spent 20 minutes on this last night figuring it out.
This is all brought to you by the
haven't delivered.
McDermott Institute, by the way. The Institute for Advanced Materials.
She's pretty horrible, I have to say. There were moments where I was like, but no, she was horrible. And the way that they did the honesty box as well, where she was like, what would you change about me? And he was like, I can't answer that.
Well, come on, you can. You just say nothing. It's like
he should have said nothing.
Yeah, he botched it.
That was a mega botch. It was a
She set
stupid
him up
question.
for
But
failure.
he should be better at, like, that's just
But he just got the call
basic.
yesterday.
Yeah.
He's beat red. You
Yeah.
know,
He was holding a boom pole 4 hours ago, you know?
His clothes are so tight.
They are very tight. But there's a
feels
lot
like
going on underneath
There's a
his
lot
clothes.
going on.
Yeah.
So, something to think about.
Let's go to a break and come back for the dinner party, okay?
The new Technics A800 premium wireless headphones and AZ60 true wireless earbuds feature industry-leading noise cancelling, multi-point Bluetooth connection, superior call quality and long-lasting battery life. Indulge in superior sound like never before with Technics.
When you choose to invest, your money has power. Avoiding companies that finance weapons production or ignore climate change is important. But impact investing goes beyond just avoiding harmful behaviours. It's an opportunity to invest in companies that are actually improving the world. Invest in a better future with the Harbour Sustainable Impact Fund. Grow your wealth and make a positive impact on the world. This is not personalised advice. A disclaimer and the product disclosure statement for Harbour investment funds issued by Harbour Asset Management is available at harbourasset.co.nz.
Welcome back. It's dinner time. And
Yum.
Al and Sam
Dinner is served.
The milk is served.
That was very good.
Amazing.
Al and Sam have consummated. I can't even say his
Consummated.
consummated.
It's really, I
marriage.
tried to write it down. I couldn't spell it. It's like impossible.
His one-eyed snake got some action, little Johnny Boyd out there.
Oh, no, love it.
Al is so great.
it.
And then, of course, we've got some new couples. So, of course, they got to do a shoey, not out of their own shoe.
Initiation.
I love Al. He's such a sweet, guileless
He's a nice
presence.
boy. Yeah.
But the way that it's just clear that he has spent so many years in that zone, and the way he's just trying to bring like a grubby party vibe to this like fancy occasion. And the fact that Sam like loves him for it now.
Yeah, no big deal now, eh?
What I loved about the showy, Dion class act turning it down, first of all.
I know.
And then Matt doing it, looking to his wife. She gave him nothing. She was miserable. Did a shoey, but then Al took the shoey away. And you could see him sipping from the shoey. Like it was just...
Waste not, want not, you know?
It's a sipping shoey, you know? It's just a slow...
The quaffing, you really got to let it sit. Oh my God.
Yeah, Matt was like, oh, are we not all doing this? And he thought it was a really nice touch, you know? It wasn't even like, yeah, a bit of fun. He was like, it's a nice touch. It's a nice way to be initiated into the fold.
Oh, man.
Very, very funny. Did you notice the masks on Jessica and Daniel as they got out of the car?
Yeah.
That was weird, eh? Because I don't know if they were going to show that. They were just shooting them getting out there. But then she shut the door on him.
Poor guy.
She is savage.
And then when he tried to like get the wine, he got the white wine and the champagne flutes and tried to bring it over.
I know, the sadness.
Very sad.
God. I've shut the door on people in cars before. It's by accident. You think they're getting out their side. You don't expect them to shuffle over. And so you shut the door. And
it felt deliberate.
it was a beautiful edit. When they walk in, Al is quaking in his shoeies because you'll remember from the Bucks night, he was really concerned about like someone else being a good looking guy.
Yeah.
I think it was Mitch. He was like, oh God, you know, I'm the best looking guy here. Oh no, he's another good looking guy, but I'm still the best looking guy here. So he's very fixated on Matt and he's like, I like your teeth.
Yeah, I love your teeth.
Lovely teeth.
The way he's like inspecting him like a horsey.
Yeah. And the way I feel like Mitch, like you see his eyes flit and be like, another guy with earrings. Not okay.
That's my thing.
Did not sign off on that.
It's really weird having weddings at this point as well because it just feels like they're just, I don't know, as a viewer, you're kind of gone down the road with these people and then they're like being the guests at the wedding and you feel like you're in that crew and suddenly you've got these new people and it's really hard to, it's a real whiplash gear change to kind of like get back into wedding mode. Thankfully, it doesn't take long. Like, love having them at the dinner party, but it must be such a weird thing for them to walk into.
Especially the ones but no one was at their wedding, so no one even knew they were
Yeah.
in the show.
Well, except that the women do quite a good job of pretending that they don't know Jess.
True. Oh, yeah.
What? Oh.
They would have all met.
Jess versus Dom is a battle for the ages.
I love Dom.
Yeah, Dom's
She's
quality.
she sees everyone's shit.
Yeah.
Throughout, you know, she saw Celine, she saw Andrew, and she immediately clocked Jess as, I mean, maybe they had a spat at the hens night. We don't know. Maybe she had baggage already, but she saw it immediately and she called it out, fiery Italian.
Counterpoint, she was mean to poor old Jackie boy.
She was mean.
at
That's what I was
dinner.
going to say. She bandicooted him at the wedding.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
And he, I thought he was really reasonable with how he talked to her about that.
Yeah.
And she was sort of rolling her eyes and pulling faces.
I'm not ready
and-
to apologise.
Yeah.
That's right. I take it back. I like her at the dinner party. I didn't like that. I do not stand by that behaviour.
No, but she's a cracking character.
Yeah.
And she she plays a really important role in the show, and she does like though we've got to say, Jess, are you the fourth expert now? Good line.
Yeah, great line.
Great
Great line. So what actually happened?
I don't know.
The main thing is the budding romance between Carolina and
Dan.
I don't know if that's the main thing. That's one of the things.
What
It's one
about
of the
Celine
things.
and Anthony as well?
Celine-
oh yes,
Celine and Anthony?
Yes.
Anthony was shaking. Like they had
Oh
him
my
in his
God.
hands
Oh,
and
yeah.
he was shaking.
Oh, Anthony.
They had a confrontation like from diagonally one end of the table to the other. So there was no way that everyone couldn't get swept up in it. And it was quite full on. But I want to know more about this McDonald's receipt, please.
Yeah,
Yes.
I do think like if he actually did that,
That is so
that's
rough.
kind of the end of the relationship.
What did she get? How strong is the Aussie dollar at the moment? What does $6.75 get you
Was it
at
$6.75?
Macca's? Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, I would say no, it doesn't get you much.
Do you think she's going for like just a burger? Like that's not a combo. If
Is
it
it
is,
like-
it's like a
No,
Filet
no,
of
that's
fish?
like maybe, it might be a McCafe, like a coffee and a little sweet slice or something.
I don't think you would have called it McDonald's
No.
like that because I feel
You'd call it McCafe, would you? Or just
How
McCafe.
I think you'd be proud of McCafe. I would be.
Yeah, that would
It
be
does,
really
it does.
moving up in the world, eh?
It does potentially reek of something that could have been him just being like a bit of a jerk. Like not he wouldn't ordinarily do that, but she'd annoyed him, and then maybe they had a fight about that. Her going off and getting stuff for him or whatever.
Could it be
Or
a
him going
bit?
off and
It'll
getting
be a
stuff for her.
cracking bit.
a great bit.
It's funny. I think it's good. But he was already off on it because he had been putting his feet on the coffee table all week. So she's
Oh, that's of course
already pissed off about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. It's funny because you hear these things and you think they're going to go to the dinner party, and when the stories come out with everyone, we're going to hear more. But it was really, that was the big fight. Was
Yeah.
the coffee table feet. Where do you stand on feet on the coffee table?
Me? I think it's fine.
Everyone. Fine.
I prefer a stool.
The la-di-da.
Clip that.
No further comment.
No, I mean, like I say, it's not ideal, but it's like you just sort of bat their feet away. That's the level of response it requires, not like this sort of thing that curdles inside you and then leaps out.
She did admit, though, that he was annoying her so much in every way that every tiny thing was driving her crazy, including him breathing at all. So,
Yeah, that is selfish of him.
And she couldn't think of a single thing that she liked about him. It was very brutal.
But then also there's the Selena Cody fight, which actually was pretty heartbreaking.
It was.
They had sex as well this week.
They did.
They did, yeah. She had, after last week's dinner party, won't be any sex tonight after tonight's one. Anyway, she got pretty upset. She just wants more affection from him. He's just like, I'm just not that, I can do that. And then she starts crying. And she's not like performative crying. Like she's sort of turning away, dabbing at her eyes with a napkin. And he says across the table to whoever he's talking to, see, oh my God, you see what I mean? That does my nut.
Yuck.
Yeah, I really don't
It's
like
so
him.
gross.
Really don't like him.
So-
Also, hideous shirt on top of everything else that Cody's
On top
done.
of everything else.
Half zebra. What are you? Looks like the Joker in the 90s or something. I just really don't like that guy.
Yeah. Because I think she might be the most sort of down-to-earth, normie kind of, you can imagine hanging out with her.
I love her.
She's just lovely, and she just deserves so much better than this, like, emotionally unavailable, manipulative, just sort of like he's just a little baby boy all the time. It's all very like, why would I have me?
Yeah, not into him at all. But I did notice at this dinner party particularly, there was so much frankenbiting, like so much, because you can hear the ambience in the background. You can really notice when there are audio cuts, like different bits of audio cut together. But also when Jess got up and stormed off after being taken to task by Dom for the second time, Sam was sitting next to Dom, and then when Jess got up, like the back cut shot, Sam was sitting next to Jess. So Jess obviously got up annoyed, but it wasn't at that exact moment. Either that or Sam's like a witch.
Interesting theory.
No.
I just think that they're not even trying to hide it. They're just like,
Yeah.
just whatever's the good telly.
people just trying to
Most
make a
people
TV
won't
show.
notice, Yeah.
Like in my mind, I have this alternate universe where Kate actually does smile a lot, and it's chatty and positive, but they just cut it out.
Well, yeah, and you can see that in the
Yeah.
build up to Matt, the wedding with Matt, where you're like, Matt is the perfect man. He rescues children.
Yeah.
He is like nice and funny. And then 2 seconds later,
He's seen The Notebook.
they can
Did you know?
flip the edit, and he is insufferable. Like,
If they don't get Matt and Kate watching The Notebook on camera, just cancel the show. Cancel the show.
Can we just drill a little bit more into the Carolina, is it Dan,
Dan, yeah.
That was like extremely just making the fan face. Like there's some shit is definitely going to happen there.
Oh yeah.
It
has. I mean, it's almost. I hate to say it, but the bar has been set for infidelity between couples in this show. Like, when was the last season where no one partner swapped? I can't even remember.
It almost just
particularly
makes
the
sense,
intruders. You know, that's almost like what are they called? What do you call them? The new couples.
Call them intruders.
But you know, it's like they come in with less skin in the game.
Two
probably
relationships
been slightly encouraged to, like, you know, if you don't like this guy, just have a look around.
Well,
shop
also,
around.
like, everyone's sort of 3-4 weeks in, so where the wheel's going to fall off, it's starting to come off. So there's some availability there. But that was like, you could just see him.
Yeah.
It was very.
Yeah.
It was.
She said she'd prefer someone taller. She'd prefer someone who goes to the gym.
I could see what was happening.
And then he did finger guns at her.
Yeah, she was said, like, who would you choose out of all these women? And he was like, finger gun.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
And then there was that sort of like, what did she say? If you ever want to talk about this quandary you have about how you hate your wife with just a random person like, say me, let's do it. I'm like, cool, next week.
Yeah.
Keen.
And that is week 4. It looks like it's going to be a great commitment ceremony. I can't wait. There's definitely a couple, if not more than one, departing.
Well, I don't know. I think there just could be a bunch of leaves on the ground, but not necessarily leave leaves.
True. So that remains to be seen, but what a great week. Promising sort of pick up after a slightly slower week 3. And I would like to coin a new, well, it's not coining a new phrase, but I'd like to put this into regular commission. This is what Matt's response was to Anthony and Celine having a massive showdown across the table. Goodness me, wowee. What a week on Married at First Sight Australia. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you, Alex. Thank you, Duncan.
Thanks,
and don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you, Tia here. Bye.
Just quickly, if you're enjoying this podcast and value what we do at The Spinoff, please consider joining the Spinoff members. All our mahi is made possible by our members, and we wouldn't be here today without their support. Tautoko mai and head to thespinoff.co.nz/members to sign up.
Kia ora, this is Toby Manhire, here to urge you to tune in to Gone by Lunchtime, a podcast with me, Annabelle Lee Mather and Ben Thomas, tackling the world of New Zealand politics, from policy to polling, from scandal to psychodrama. Listen to Gone by Lunchtime, brought to you by the Spinoff Podcast Network, wherever good pods are sold.
Kia ora e te iwi, Te Aihe Butler here, podcast manager at The Spinoff. If you enjoy listening to our podcasts, consider supporting our mahi by signing up to become a Spinoff member at thespinoff.co.nz/donate. The Spinoff Podcast Network.